Okay, so good morning and welcome back to the live stream, guys. We've got some good content for you today. So, for starters, I had a very busy week this week. I was teaching coding at a local elementary school, Roberta Bondar Public School, which is in the south end of Ottawa, and had a really great time teaching there, guys. I just had so much fun. I was teaching grade 7 and 8 classes, and thank you to everybody who set that up for me. And we were working on my robot idol curriculum. So you guys who've been regular viewers will know that we've been teaching our viewers over the course of the last couple of months how to draw their own robot, animate it to music. We held a little robot dancing contest. And now we've got a bunch of robots that we're putting into a music video, and we're very excited about that. So I've turned this into a curriculum that I'm rolling out with students all over Ottawa, and I'm just having a lot of fun teaching them. So I thought I'd give you a little preview of some of the cool stuff that I've been working on in the classroom lately. And if there's any teachers out there watching, this is a really excellent, simple thing that's very accessible to kids at all levels. You don't need a lot of coding knowledge to do this. I had kids of all kinds of different disparate groups all coming in and doing the stuff, and everyone seemed to really enjoy it a lot. I've got a little video summary here showing some of the cool projects that my students have made. I'm just so proud of the work they've done. So I've put a little compilation movie together here that I'm going to show you that shows a little bit of the work that we did. Now, I'm sorry I didn't get everyone's names. I've listed names for the students where I found them, but not everybody had the names on their projects, so some of these are going to be anonymous. But congratulations to all the students at Roberta Bondar School for making such great robots. Here is a quick supercut of some of the work we did this week. Wow, what a cool bunch of projects those were. That was just some amazing stuff. So, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about some of these individual projects and what I really liked about them. This is Zainab's project that you saw towards the end. This was one of my favorite ones. This is a really excellent example of how to use shading to make something really pop off the screen. One of the things I was trying to convey to my students was that when you're using gradient effects in Scratch, it's very important that you use it not to go from one color to the next. Like this, to my mind, is just not a very attractive look. And so we're using these gradient effects to go from one shade of a color to a different shade of the same color. So if we're talking purple here, for example, let's get a nice purple color here and then add some darkness to it. And you see the really pro kind of shading look that we get by doing this. So Zainab here has done some excellent work with her shading, and particularly when you look at it against a black background here, you see an almost 3D like kind of texture and quality to these things. Just a beautiful, beautiful example of some really, really nice design here. So bravo, Zainab, nice work. And this project here by Malcolm, I have to say, is just the finest piece of student animation I've seen in a long time. It reminds me a lot of these cup and ball games that I used to play as a kid, and these ones here that you blow. So let's run this animation one more time just to give you guys a sense of what's going on here. So he's actually simulating throwing this ball up in the air and the way it would roll around and fly inside of a ball like this if gravity were pulling it. And then we've got this other beautiful effect here where he spins his arms around and it turns into kind of a disc on the screen here. What a really cool animation trick that is. He really conveys that sense that the arms are spinning around so fast that they're all a blur, just with a few simple bits of animation. So this is a masterful bit of animation, and I just want to congratulate Malcolm on doing such a fantastic job on this. I'm just so impressed with what you've done here. So thanks for that, guys. So I really enjoyed that. If anyone else is a teacher who's out there, I'm really interested in doing more of these robot idol workshops. And if you want to hold your own robot idol workshop, I have video material and everything that you need to do this stuff in your own classroom, even without my help, just by watching my videos. So would love to show you guys that. All right, let's move on here. So my co-op students and I, particularly, well, we've been working for about a year or so on this project called Scratch Basics. Now, the web page has been up for a little while, but let me tab over to a different tab here. Oh no, we've gotten ahead of ourselves here. So this Scratch Basics website, the page has been up for a little bit, but we haven't published the videos. We've been wanting to make some minor tweaks, and I think we're finally ready to go. Congrats to Yana Jovanoyic, who's one of my co-op students, who worked very hard this is Yana here. She worked super hard re-editing all these videos, adding new captions, getting the web page organized, and just getting everything ready to go for us to actually publish this. So these files have been on the internet, some of them for as long as a year, but they've all been hidden away. They've been unlisted. So as of 11 o'clock today, we are releasing 22 new videos, all of them basic introduction to Scratch. And so what's really cool about these is they're little short videos, 3 to 5 minutes, and every single one of them delves into something neat that we've learned about coding in Scratch. Some of it applicable to beginners, like from my classes teaching kids who've just been starting in Scratch, and they have questions like, how do I use the arrow keys to move something? How do I make a projectile come out of a gun? How do I make my character fade away or fade in? These kind of simple questions, plus some more advanced hacks, like how to use different pieces of software to enhance your voice or your images in Scratch, how to load external images and even animated GIFs into your projects. It's all here, and they're just, I believe we're up to like 22 or 23 of these tutorials now, and they're all just excellent little projects created by our co-op students, and I think some of them are just really, really informative and great to watch. So, as I said, they're going to be releasing these at 11 o'clock. The webpage is now up at chromeworks.ca/basics. You can just go to chromeworks.ca and click on the Scratch Basics logo to get to this page, and this will show you all the embedded videos. There's also a playlist on YouTube that you can find quite easily if you go to my Chromeworks Technologies page. And yeah, so there's lots of places to view these from. I thought to celebrate our premiere today, I would show you one of these videos. So today I'm going to show you a video by co-op student Bentley Bernard, who was one of my co-op students last year in the springtime. And he's done a really nice little tutorial here on stacking order and how to dynamically change an object so that sometimes it's at the front and sometimes it's at the back of something, depending on where he's walking around on the screen. So a really useful little technique. And this is a good kind of first sample of what my Scratch Basic content looks like. So without further ado, here is Bentley's tutorial. Wow. So thank you for that, Benley. We miss you, buddy. It was really nice to see a little blast from the past here. So Benley, my co-op student from last year, here with a little tutorial. There are so many of these Scratch Basics tutorials out there, and I think you guys are going to find them really, really useful. So do give them a look, guys. I'm very, very happy to bring them to you. In the meantime, we have some shout outs coming here. So, shout outs is just a regular routine that we've been doing lately where we're just giving a little shout out to a scratcher who's been talking to me lately, who's done something interesting. So, you're always welcome to drop me a message on my Scratch page at Mr. Tomek on Scratch. And when I've been talking with someone for a while and they have something interesting to show, I like to show it to you guys. So here is our shout out segment. So shout out this week to P302890. Not the most original name, buddy, but he's come up with a really clever idea that strangely pays tribute to Chromeworks. He's done up a little Nintendo Switch emulator. So this is his Nintendo Switch 1.12. He's made some changes. We were talking back and forth, and he's done some really, really lovely work with it. Let me show you. So all it is a front end that plays different Scratch games, and he's included a Chromeworks game in here, which is really sweet of him. So we're going to launch the program here and show you what it looks like. So yeah. So he's got a menu that appears here. We can cycle through this and we can click any of the games that are in here and launch them. So let's try starting with Space Invaders, a Chromeworks game, by the way. And yeah. And so the fully functional Chromeworks game is here. And if you get tired of that, you can click on the home button and the interface will load again and you can pick a totally different game. So these are all different games borrowed from high profile Scratcher. Here's a whack-a-mole game. And so now we're playing whack-a-mole inside this little this little Nintendo Switch. I just think this is a really cool idea. Let's have a look at his Minecraft quiz. And you can see that we're into the Minecraft quiz app here. So just a really interesting experiment in front ends for Scratch, which I think is just really, really neat. So hats off to P302890 from the United States for sending this all over to us, and my pleasure. So you can see he's got credits here for all the different people whose games he's used, and there's 4 different projects in here, and I think he's just done a really great job. All right, I also had one other shout out for JJ Power 1242. He says he's from Singapore, and his real name is Junwoo Park. He says he loves video games and he wants to be a code master and famous in Scratch. He was just so excited to hear that I was going to show some of his work on Scratch, and he makes kind of strange random projects as a lot of kids do, and I thought I would just show you 1 or 2 of the things that he's been working on. He does one thing that I admire. I really love when kids put their own voices into these projects. I think the voice recorder tool in Scratch is an underused tool that you can really use to put some of your personality into these projects. So here is a, oh, actually I'm going to go back to the other one here. Here's a project called No Way Show with Kirby by JJ Power 1242. So big shout out to my friend who I've been talking to on Scratch this week. And this is just an example of the fun little low coding kinds of silly projects you guys can make in Scratch with just a little bit of effort. So let's watch this one.
I don't know what it's saying.
So you can see that my friend JJ, what he's done here is just grab some animated GIF files. You guys are probably aware that any animated GIF, if you import it into Scratch, it will import frames of animation. And from there, getting it running in your editor is just a matter of switching the costume numbers around. And so the code is actually super, super simple. And but the end product looks really cool. He's added some text on top here, the runaway text. And yeah, just really, really fun, simple little project that even is accessible to beginner scratchers. Here's another very simple project he's worked on. Let me go back to here. There we go. This one's called Bad Guys, and this one features a little bit more voice work by Junwoo Park, our Singaporean student who's been sharing with us today.
The bad guys are back. I know, in the Bad Guys book, Mr. Shark ate Mr. Wolf and Snake. But first, Mr. Wolf ate Mr. Snake, then Mr. Shark ate Mr. Wolf. Here's the bad guys who turned bad to good, and that's all I can tell you.
Well, that's all we needed to hear, Junwoo. Thank you very much for sharing with me and for reaching out to me today. I thought this was a really beautiful looking project, and I love how you put your own voice into it, buddy. So congratulations for that. Moving right along, so 2 weeks ago we ran part 1 of our Draw It segment. Remember, Draw It is a segment where our artist in residence, Kal, teaches us how to draw something in Scratch. She has drawn this beautiful anime girl for us, and she completed drawing half of it 2 weeks ago in the first installment, and now we're ready to go with the rest of her tutorial. So by the way, if you were interested in seeing her finished project, Kal's Scratch name is Your Dead Girl, and I'm going to paste the address in the link for this particular project if you guys are interested in having a look at it while we watch this lovely tutorial showing how this was done. So without further ado, here is Kal.
Hey guys, welcome back to the second episode of our anime girl drawing. We're starting off with the eyebrows, which was just very much a triangle shape that I just pushed and pulled. I wanted to do somewhat of like a fierce look, but didn't really happen. Took a lot of fiddling to get it how I wanted, because I wanted to give her very much don't mess with me vibe. Moving on to the lips, it was just a very simple like circle oval that I just erased the middle from and just pushed and pulled to give somewhat of an angle to give the lip look. And you can see I changed the nose again, and I wanted to add shadowing behind the nose to give it more of a realistic look. You can tell I kind of struggled, and I had a hard time trying to figure out the layers for this one. I got better at using them over time, but still very much struggled. Basically I was creating like the bridge of the nose right now, so I wouldn't have to add any sharp lines, but it would just use the shadowing to give the effect. To continue shadowing, we got a shadow underneath the nose to give another realistic look. You can do it however you want it. I just really went for a really broken, like half moon shape. I can't really describe that shape. Now we gotta add highlights, and since we had a shadow on the left side of the nose, we gotta add a highlight to the right side of the nose to actually make it look 3D. I added a little circle highlight on the tip of the nose too. If you thought we were done shading, we're not. We gotta add the lower lip shade to actually make it look like the lips are 3D. And now we're gonna add some lip gloss. I just played around really with it because normally when I do digital drawing, I forgo lip gloss or lipstick because I'm really bad at it. So I just played with the shape and then kind of played around with highlighting, which I got really confused because normally when I do digital drawing, it's a bunch of just squiggle lines. But now I just did a bunch of circles to give it the effect of lip gloss. Moving on, we're going to add highlights on the cheeks. And I wanted to change the scowl, which is more of an angry look, to give somewhat of a smile. And since I wanted to create more of a feminine character, I kind of gave more eyelashes to the side, and I added a highlight on the cupid's bow. Moving on to the ears, I don't know exactly what ears look like. I was too lazy to look up a reference, so if you want to make your ears look realistic, look up a reference. I mostly just played with it, added weird squiggles, and then added deep shadows, and I just placed it on the head and put it behind using the layers, and I kind of just pushed and pulled it to make it look like it was actually attached to the head, and just did it on the other side as well. Now I wanted to add some accessories, so I wanted to create glasses because I have glasses in real life. So I just created 2 circles and then just pushed and pulled them to give somewhat of like a half oval shape. I added the bridge and then I added the 2 branches on the side of the glasses. Just pushed and pulled them until I thought they looked good. Now we gotta add highlights on the glasses so the glasses actually look like glasses. Basically, I just used the radial tool and made it so that the color would be on the outside layer while transparency on the middle, and then I just created rectangles and I just pushed and pulled them so that they'd fit the frame, and then I just copy and pasted it over onto the other side. Had to play with it a little bit because of course they weren't symmetrical. Basically, yeah, it makes it actually look like there is a highlight. And now we're not done with shading again. We're adding shading underneath the glasses and the bridge to make it look like the character is actually wearing glasses and that there's a shadow because of it. Continuing to shade, even though it took longer than it should have, adding a shadow underneath the bridge. And then I added a shadow on the ears so that the ears didn't look like they were flush with the head and that they were actually on the side of the head and behind. Copied and pasted onto the other side, but the other side didn't really need it, not gonna lie. And now we're on to hair, which was my least favorite part. Using a lot of teardrop shapes with like the pointed tips. I had a hard time with the hair. I can't make hair look good even properly drawing it, so let alone on scratch. So I just created somewhat of a frame of the face with the hair, and I tried to create somewhat of a part and put it behind the hair so that you could see that there was somewhat separation, and so I changed the color too. Didn't look that great, but it worked in the end. You can slowly start to see me spiral with the hair, trying to figure out how to do it so that it looked actually like hair and not just a nest. I don't even know what the heck happened there. I don't know what the heck that was supposed to be. I think that was supposed to connect the part to the back part of the hair so that it would look like one shape instead of multiple strands, but also look good. In the end, I don't know how I did it. It looked okay, and then I started to add the back hair. Back hair seems a good name for it. Basically, I just started pushing and pulling so that there would somewhat be a halo around the head, so that I would only have to worry about adding a little more bang. Still playing along with the back part of the hair, I literally just made it a bump in the end, and then I copy and pasted the other bang from the other side because I got really lazy, and then I just put it behind using the layers, and then I created another bang part by stealing another one that I already created, and I just played with it so that there'd be another part for the back part of the hair. Yeah, the hair is very simple, but very annoying. Going back full circle, we're gonna add the highlights in the hair, which very much I struggled with. Because again, I'm a digital artist, so a lot of them are just a bunch of lines. But in the end, I kind of got the hang of it using the transparency tool in the radial so that the color would be concentrated in the middle, and just played with it, basically putting highlights wherever I would think a highlight would be on the hair, and then I just actually kind of pointed the tips in the end to give a cooler shape instead of just being a circle. Now you're done. I wanted to add accessories, so I added a yellow hair clip, and now my full drawing is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next week I'll work on a video about clothing, so stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.
Well, thank you, Cal. I'm really enjoying these tutorials. I don't know about you guys. Cal does a lot of talking down about her work, talking about how much she's struggling with this stuff. But the final result, I think you guys will all agree, is just fantastic. This is beautiful. I am so impressed in particular by her use of lighting effects. The way the light bounces off of these glasses, the highlights that catch her eyeballs, the little specular highlights that give it roundness and depth. And then the hair too, which she was so down on herself about. But I think it's just a lovely hairdo. And so anyway, congratulations, Cal. I think this is a lovely little piece of art. And I have shared the address with you guys if you are interested in checking it out and maybe reverse engineering how she drew stuff. If you've drawn something cool like this in Scratch, please share it with us and I will show it on the stream. Would love to show more student art here if you've got something available. Okay, so game reviewer Young is back with another cool review. This week he's looking at the Impossible Quiz. Now this is a big gaming trend that took off way back in the mid-2015 or so, I believe Young said. And it's been adapted for Scratch. So Young is taking a look at the Impossible Quiz and how it's been modified for using with Scratch. And he has this rather wacky game review for us today, so let's go right to that.
Today, I'm reviewing an old classic strategy game where the goal is to think really far outside the box by answering backwards questions and sometimes gibberish. This is gameplay from the original game, not from the web browser Scratch adaptation. This, alongside with the next bit of gameplay, they are both from the original game. This week's game is the Impossible Quiz. This game is a parody of the original Impossible Quiz games, where the creator decided there needed to be more Impossible Quiz content. The Impossible Quiz was so influential to kids and YouTubers of the era of 2015. You play as yourself, trying to crack the mysteries of this book that contains a quiz by solving misleading puzzles and questions, having a precise mouse for some of the questions, and thinking outside the box for all of the questions. Kal Veitch is the creator of this game and has been around for quite a while. 8 years and 9 months, a veteran to be certain. Kal Veitch has made some viral games such as The Impossible Quiz, The Impossible Quiz 2, Slime Tower Defense, and much more that he has made. He does a lot of games and animations, and he does parodies. He likes MLG parodies in particular, and then he just updates the stuff he formerly had. He has 2,161 followers. I think that he should have more considering how well his games have gone. So just juice up his follower page and let's see if we can get that to 2,500. So with all that out of the way, I'm actually going to play the game now. All the gameplay you've seen up till this point is the Impossible Quiz original game, because I wanted to play the first 5 levels with you guys because I wanted an authentic experience for my first time. So let me go start. Oh, what? Oh, what? We're already in the game. What's for breakfast? Eggs and bacon? Nope. And we lost already. So, okay, let's see what I can get to the next one. Instructions. Waffles, burgers, stale chips and salsa. Which is the smallest? Lol, because it's physically the smallest. Put your mouse here. You can go around the top, right here. Probably, I don't know. No, never mind. Instructions, waffles. Wait, what? Oh, stale chips and salsa. Smallest, LOL. Put mouse here. This cookies solve everything. Okay, so that is going to be the 5 levels. I just wanted to do a quick little preview. I think it was pretty fast paced. If you make a mistake later on in the game, it's definitely going to be more punishing, but right now it's kind of like funny just to see what they have in store for you. So I think it's pretty neat. If you are interested in the impossible quiz games made by Tarlock, what you can do is check out some of his other games. This one is Random Scrolling Terrain Generator. It is exactly as it sounds. It's a random terrain generator that you just scroll back and forth. There's not much purpose to it. It's just pretty cool. You can select from 4 levels, and I think it's pretty neat. Or you can take a look into his animation work. For example, this animation is called Just One Question. It has John Cena in it, and he likes MLG parody, so this is something that he has done quite frequently. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Well, thanks for that, Young. Let me check if my audio is working. Yeah, here we go. All right. So, yeah, I've been having a look at the Impossible Quiz. The original project came out in 2015. There was a sequel to it. And the original project got almost 900,000 views. That is one of the highest. Outside of Griff Patch, I think that's one of the most popular projects on Scratch. So wow, just an old granddaddy of a game that has been around for quite a while. And he's made a couple of sequels as well. I'm not sure if Tarlock is still active on Scratch anymore, but he's certainly been influential in the Scratch community. All right, so while we were on the topic of basic Scratch tutorials this week, I thought we'd throw in one more quick tutorial. Now, this has been produced by Marquise Reddie, who's another one of our co-op students here at Chromeworks, and he's been working on this tutorial on a much asked question among young Scratch users, which is how to make a guided missile that chases you around the screen. I've got this project here. I'm going to be showing it to you in the chat, sharing it with you in the chat in a minute, but let's jump right over to Marquise's tutorial and see how we did this.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to kill guided missiles. Make those guided missiles. So today I'm going to be showing you how they made them. When making your guided missiles, you're going to want it to be in the middle of your screen when you're starting. So we're going to make the missile have a wait time of half a second to 2 seconds before calling itself, so it gives the effect that it's popping parts of the screen. Done. We're going to make our missile do 3 different things. First, we're going to make it spawn, seek, and attack. Each time when it's cloning itself. When the clone missile spawns, we're going to want it to be pointing in random directions by 360 degrees. Then we're going to want the clone missile to be moving 250 steps ahead of itself, so it can move across the screen. Now we're going to want the clone missile to turn 180 degrees equidistant to the screen when it's showing. Now we have the clone missile spun around to be facing the middle of the screen when the green flag is clicked. Now onto the seeking part. When the seeking, we're going to want the missile to be seeking for the cat until it gets within 100 pixels and moves towards the cat at a speed of 3. the clone missile is attacking, we're going to make it say a whoosh sound. Now that the missile is making a whoosh sound, we're going to want it to keep going in a straight line until it touches the edge of the screen. Now we're going to want the missile to be changing costume and move 5 steps. Then when the missile is touching the cat, it will make an explosion sound and broadcast hit when it touches the cat. When the clone missile broadcast hit, we're going to want to delete the clone. When the cat gets hit by the missile, you're going to want it to make an ouch sound and wait half a second before changing costume 7 times. And when changing costume, you're going to want it to be waiting 0.1 seconds before hiding. And that's my tutorial of how to make your own guide missile. If you liked, make sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, bye bye. Hi everyone, today I'm going to
Darn it. Sorry, I was muted again. Thank you, Andy, for pointing that out. Man, I'm just having so many audio troubles today. So that's all the time we have this week. I'm continuing to work on our AMV, or animated music video project, and looking forward to bringing that to you guys very, very soon. It's coming along nicely. My co-op students are working on choreography and a few more backgrounds and some other stuff, and we'll have a full update for you on that next week. So looking forward to showing that. In the meantime, happy scratching, everybody. It's springtime. Do try and get some fresh air as well. I'm really happy to be with you again this week, and I will be back next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern with even more Scratch tutorials, reviews, and all kinds of other fun stuff. So I'll see you then. Bye now.